And girls, welcome to another movie review of mine here for you guys on YouTube. And I'm talking about this year's, or 2024, however you want to say, still the same year. And I'm talking about the modern day movie remake of Mean Girls, which was a musical. And obviously, the iconic 90s movie I'm definitely going to be talking a little bit about. Obviously, not by complete review of the 90s versus the 2024 movie, which would definitely be a cool review to do because I absolutely still will forever love the original Mean Girls. The original Lindsay Lohan Mean Girls will forever be iconic, just like more or less the remake of Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan will forever be a iconic movie as well. Now, I'm not dishing the original Jodie Foster Freaky Friday, but there's something about the remake with Lindsay Lohan of Freaky Friday that also was a iconic and classic movie as well. And I feel the same way about the original 90s Lindsay Lohan movie Mean Girls because, wow, that movie was just something different for a movie that came out at the time. And it was just hilarious, it was dramatic. Just that movie had a lot of good feelings about it, just like the modern day movie musical does as well. But obviously, there's some things that were definitely cut out. My girlfriend was very much right about that, and she was definitely spot on that there were certain things that didn't happen in the modern day Mean Girls that definitely happened in the original non-musical movie of Mean Girls. Whereas there were certain things that happened in the modern day one that did happen as well in the original 90s movie. Where there was even a scene that happened in the modern day one that was done a little bit differently still, which was the outside scene, that iconic scene from the 90s movie where Lindsay Lohan had her Halloween outfit on and those Halloween pretend teeth thing that looked pretty hideous on her. They still had that particular scene and the scene where her friend came out and accused her of thinking you have the hots for me. That sort of scene happened, but it didn't happen in a vehicle. It more or less happened a lot differently to what it did in the Lindsay Lohan movie as well. And there was also that stuff with the whole coach and the teenager love scene as well, the inappropriate student teacher or teacher student love scene as well that happening the 90s Lindsay Lohan movie that was completely cut from the modern day movie musical. That scene did not happen whatsoever in the movie. And in fact, I don't think they even had a sports coach in the in the modern day movie musical as well. That stuff was cut out. Obviously, they had the sex ed teacher stuff, and he was being a little bit weird in the modern day movie as well, which was played by the actor from Mad Men, John Hamm, had a small cameo in the movie, and I loved his small cameo in the movie musical. Obviously, they still had Lindsay Lohan's love interest, who was another dorky actor. And they had Lindsay Lohan playing a cameo in the scene as well, where I'm pretty sure she played a different character. Otherwise, if she played the same character, it would have felt a bit like the Tom Holland recent Spider-Man movie that came out, where there was his Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It definitely would have felt like that of a Mean Girls movie. But the musical numbers in the movie, I got to talk about the iconic songs and the songs that were done in the movie. Great soundtrack. And I have heard a few of the songs from the movie on my Spotify from getting the soundtrack, but I haven't heard the full soundtrack of the movie yet outside of watching the movie. But that song that has the Regina George line, the plastic song, and obviously this movie definitely did a lot of social media stuff in today's modern society with TikTok and YouTube and social media, which was even done in a particular song number in the movie as well. They even changed the particular song in the bit where they're dressed up in the sexy Santa outfits, even that song was completely different from the 90s Lindsay Lohan movie as well. I'm glad they kept in that scene. Like, if that scene was cut, I think I would be more disappointed if there was certain stuff that didn't happen in the modern day one that happened in the iconic Lindsay Lohan movie. If that scene was something completely different, I think I would have been more annoyed with the movie. And then I actually was. And I definitely wasn't annoyed with the movie. Apart from, I still wonder where the character of Cassie, or where the character that was born still in South Africa, like Lindsay Lohan's character, I still wonder if she even had a dad in the movie, because in the modern day movie musical version, that character, played by obviously a different actress, Lindsay Lohan didn't reprise her role for the new Mean Girls. It was another actress that played her character. But I just wondered where the father was, because there was no father in the movie. There was no mention like if he died or there was a divorce or anything like that. So I'm either presuming the character, either her father died or there was a divorce, or they just felt like being different for this movie and just having her get along with her mother, which I still thought the actress that played her mother did a fantastic job as well. Obviously, there were certain parts of the movie where I found from the original movie to be a lot more threatening. I felt, in a way, with the original Mean Girls, that it felt like a meaner movie. And in saying that, I felt even the whole, like, burn book stuff was meaner. Even there was, like, a big cat fight in the school where the principal came and even had to get an axe and hit, like, the fire alarm system and have the water spray thing. That was done in the original movie. Obviously, that didn't even happen in the new modern-day movie musical Mean Girls. Just, I felt like the original movie had a lot meaner bullying going on. Obviously, there was still the burn book and the bullying in the modern-day movie. Just, it was explored differently compared to what it was done in the movie. The original Mean Girls movie, whereas in the original, with the same actor, because they did have two of the actors reprise the same roles as they played in the original Mean Girls, which you will know if you've seen the modern day movie musical, which would be, of course, the actor that played the main principal, and obviously Tina Fey reprised her role. And there was still the stuff about her selling crack or heroin to students. That stuff's still happening the modern day movie, but the way that, even the way like the students had to go into the office of the principal, that was done briefly in the modern day movie musical, whereas in the original movie musical, the principal more explored of how he was kind of disgusted with the bullying behavior. That was more done in depth in the original Lindsay Lohan movie. They more explored of like their thoughts more in the movie musical. Sorry, in the original 1990s Lindsay Lohan movie. The whole burn book coming into the principal office and having the students coming and getting into trouble was more done in the 90s movie than it was explored in the modern day movie musical. And there was, like I said before, there wasn't the principal love scene as well. Even the way like the bullying was done in the modern day movie musical. Obviously, being a movie musical, they kind of emptied the songs, I think, more than they emptied the meanness of the movie. I felt like the modern day Mean Girls, obviously it still dealt with like teen bullying a little bit and nastiness, and Regina George still being a horrible person, and obviously she still got hit by a bus. Just, even that was done differently. Like, I don't even remember seeing the modern day character even break the crown and sharing the crown. Like, I think even that was done differently as well in the movie. So yes, there was a lot of differences as well, but in saying that, it still was a great movie musical. I actually thought that I would have ended the movie and gone, that was terrible, but no, definitely was not a terrible movie. I thought the new Mean Girls was a fantastic movie. Obviously, the 1990s movie I'm going to still find definitely iconic still. And in saying that, like I said, I felt like just the original movie had its more meanness. Like, obviously, Regina George was still nasty in the modern day movie musical. Just I felt the original actress of Rachel McAdams that played Regina George in the original movie with Lindsay Lohan was a little bit more meaner and a bit more psychotic, I felt. I felt that this one was mean, but not to the psychoticness of being mean. And in saying that, though, I'm going to be giving the Mean Girls movie musical of 2024 a big 10 out of 10. And I'll see you in the next video.